All right, guys, I am so stinking excited for this Zoom tonight. I have a very, very special guest with us tonight. I simply adore her so much. So I'm going to just go ahead and let her hop on and just share a little bit who you are, your story, all that good stuff. Erin, are you on here with us?
Yep, I
All
am.
righty.
Okay, so like Christy said, my name is Erin Tweed. I'm an ambassador diamond that we live now in Houston. I'm originally from St. Louis. And I got started in the business, it's a little over 2.5 years ago. And I was interested in the hair, skin, and nails initially. My son at the time was like, I think when I first saw the product, he was 3 months. And so I got tired of the hair pull. And so I chopped it all off, did the mom chop. And then I was like, why did I do that? So I wanted the hair, skin, and nails, but I couldn't afford it. I was working full time as a nurse navigator. So I was seeing patients before they would go into the OR. So I had to be at work at 6 a.m. every single day. So that meant getting up at 4:30. And it was hard. And my husband was in wine sales. And so when you guys hear our story, I'm still upset that he left that job because we used to get free samples all the time. But, it was one of those things that we just had to make ends meet. We were living paycheck to paycheck. Our childcare was more than our mortgage. It was just crazy. And I joined in end of July. And around April or end of March, he had tried to do some like real estate investment kind of stuff. You hear those things, the gurus that go on the radio, like he bought into it and got us $15,000 in the hole. So I borrowed money from his parents, put half of it on a credit card. So we were even more in debt, like using our savings, everything else. So finally one day, Alyssa Bilyeu's my enroller, and she had said, have you thought about making money using the products? Because she kept following up with me. And so I was like, you know what? Like, if I can make money, sign up a few customers that I can at least cover my products, like, I'll feel good about it. I won't feel bad. So I got started, and my husband told me no, my mom told me no. And I'm the type of personality that you told me no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make up my mind. I'm going to sign up. You're not going to know about it. I'm just going to prove you wrong. So I actually signed him up 3 weeks later. He didn't know that either. And saw just my welcome post, obviously on Facebook. And I just got started. I listened to what she said to do. She said, start posting on social media. Okay, I can do that. She said, start reaching out to people. Okay, I can do that. So I just have never made excuses. Like, I was working 50, 60 hours a week. I was a new mom trying to figure that out. And God forbid you ever want to work out, trying to do all these things. But I got it done. So 4 months in the business, hit diamond. 7 months in, hit double diamond, and then one day shy of my year anniversary, hit presidential and had double promoted there. And then 20 months in, had hit ambassador. So last March we hit ambassador, and we've now been a full-time family. My husband, he's been home full-time 2 years tomorrow. And I've been home a year and a half. And so we've got, our son now is 3, and we are on our IVF journey. So that's how Chrissy and I really connected. And so, this company has been such a blessing for us. Sometimes I always talk about, like, we never imagined that we would be going through infertility or having all these struggles. But, sometimes this business is put in your life for a reason that 2 years down the road, you figure out why. And so that's kind of a big brief overview of our story.
I absolutely love that. And I love that, like, a year ago, 2 years ago, like, I had no idea who you were. And then now we almost like talk on a daily basis. And I tell you all the time, like, you're my saving grace. So I absolutely love your story. So 20 months in, you went Ambassador Diamond. So I want to touch base on that. So whenever you double promoted, so you skipped triple diamond and you went from double to presidential, which is mind-blowing right there in itself. So whenever you did that, what did a day look like for you? What was a typical day, Erin Tweed, double promoting, going from double to presidential?
So I actually was working full time. I didn't come home until after I'd hit presidential. So 14 months in, that's when I was able to leave my job. I loved my job. I got to teach patients. but it was something that the freedom of time meant a lot more. And I was also driving myself crazy. So I did a lot of pre-planning. I still do that to this day. I get up in the morning. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I get up in the morning. I try and get up at least 30 to 45 minutes before I know my son's going to get up. He has this like innate thing that's like, oh, mom's awake now. Like I can get up. Like, so now all of our times have changed. But so I get up and I do like 10 to 20 minutes of self-development or my Bible study, kind of just whatever I'm reading. And then I leave my phone in airplane mode. I put my phone in airplane mode. And this helps me because I am the type of person that if a notification pops up or somebody's messaging me, I have to respond. Like I don't like notifications. I don't like messages. I don't like the number one next to my thing. I just have to get rid of it. So, I put my phone in airplane mode and I start pre-planning posts and I go ahead and send out my messages. So when I put my phone back out of airplane mode at 8:00, all of my messages go through and I've already sent out my follow-up messages. I've sent out my new warm messages. I've already done most of the work. And so everything else the rest of the day is the cherry on top. So I work a lot on a to-do list. So, I've like you guys have probably heard of a 6 list, whatever your working list is going to be. I just get like pumped up being able to cross things off. So, my list is always changing, but having my phone in airplane mode with no distractions. I just actually finished a book called The Power of a Half Hour. And it is amazing because it talks about doing things in your life in 30-minute increments. So whether it's devoted, focused time to your business, 30 minutes of like no distractions, 30 minutes of being mom, being in the moment with your child, 30 minutes of exercise, 30 minutes of whatever it's going to be that you're not having these other distractions. So I actually read the book in 30-minute increments. It was roughly about 3 chapters. But it was awesome because I was like, I can work my business the exact same way and I'm getting so much done in 30 minutes versus like what I could have accomplished. So I've learned that now, but I did a lot of pre-planning. Like when I was working pre-planning posts, I would go ahead and determine who I was going to message that next day, having that list again, if I could mark it off. And so I would post, 3 to 5 times a day. I would send out messages if I went pee, if I was on lunch, if I walked outside, if I was like in the hallway walking to a patient's room, I was just like, I could send out a message very quickly. So I don't even know. I feel like it was all kind of a blur. There's nothing special. A lot of the same stuff I do today. It's just now I have a lot more free time.
Awesome. I love that. I do the airplane mode with the post, but I never even thought about doing that with the messages. That's absolutely brilliant. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So you touch base on 6 lists, which we love. We talk about them all the time. But like in addition to those 6 lists, do you have any daily tasks that are absolutely non-negotiable? You have to do those on a daily basis.
Mine, I would say, is morning self-development, sending out my messages, touching base with my leaders and my team. And then I feel like I get a lot of my 6 lists and my to-do list done in that first half hour to an hour of my day that, I used, when I first came home, I would feel like, yeah, I've got all day to work. And so I kind of got off track of my to-do list. But now I'm getting everything done in like the hour that, sending out extra messages or having conversations back with people throughout the day. That's just like that's all I have to do, and I can get on. I love getting on the phone with potentials. I think we don't do it enough because everybody's like, oh, I just want a message. Like get people on the phone because you can have a 5-minute conversation, which is days worth of text. So setting up, when I was working full time, I would listen to self-development on my drive to work or home, listen to trainings. I would set up potential calls. So I always treated this like a business. It wasn't like, hey girl, yeah, I'm free tonight. You can call me anytime. It was like, no, what time would you like for me to call you? Okay, 5:00, I can do that on my ride home. Or if it was during supper time, I could say, hey Kyle, like I've got a call with a potential. Can you go ahead and help out with dinner or help give Finn a bath? And I think people respected me a lot more, and knowing that, hey, like her time is valuable. It's not just like, hey, I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs waiting for you to call. It's like, hey, no, you've got like a half-hour slot. If not, we're going to have to reschedule because I have other stuff that I have to do too.
That's perfect. And I'm just gonna like throw this out there. I think probably a lot of the reason of why you went so quickly and why you were able to double promote is because you treated this like a business from day one,
Mm-hmm.
and not like just this part-time hobby that you're gonna do whenever. So I absolutely love
Mm-hmm.
that. I love the organization of it too. I'm a big organized person and list person and all of that. So I absolutely love that. So moving on from there, this question was asked and I absolutely loved it. So obviously you climbed through top 100 very quickly. You
Mm-hmm.
made your way into top 20, which is an amazing accomplishment. So what
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like played a part in that for you?
I really don't even know. I wasn't even part of top 100 last year, but my goal was just to help more people. It was my goal to help my team and focus on like what their goals were. And so I think, doing that, like the more that your checks grow, the more that you're helping more people. So, I just keep using that as a reflection. Like I'm getting to know people. I'm working with them one-on-one and figuring out like what are your whys, and truly pouring into the people that want this, and not just building people or working with people that say that they want it and they don't do anything, and you're like, gosh, like they were on my chart and I need that. Like, no, you just truly work with the ones that are working. And sometimes you got to do a little tough love with leaders and stuff, but I truly feel like all of my leadership is awesome, with like layered leadership now. Like they are so amazing, and we instilled that very like early on, and just all working together. So I think that is like the biggest thing is, working with your team, working with your leaders who are in the promoting boxes for your promotion. And the more that you help them, the more it's going to help you.
That's so true. And I love that you said not working with those that we think need to fill this spot on a chart, because I think we're also guilty of it. We see these people like, okay, I have this person in the diamond chart and I want this person to go diamond for me so badly, but this person really isn't even working the business. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's important to not pour all our time into those people, and instead those are actually working the business. Um, I love that you weren't even in top 100 last year. Like
Yeah.
that blows my mind. That is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely amazing. So you said you do a lot with your leaders. How did you develop such strong layered leadership? Do you think it was just creating the relationships with them, or how did you establish that from the get-go?
I think the biggest thing is asking what their goals are and making sure that they match what I envision for them. But like one of my girls, so for my presidential, I had a triple and I had my double, and I needed 2 new diamonds. And I hit double and I never looked at the charts. I was kind of nervous because I didn't have people that I was ready to work with. So it took me a month to find Cassie, who's going to be going triple this month. And I was like, she's the one. I just, when you have that gut feeling, trust it. And I think the biggest thing is not babying people so much, don't tell people the answer, show them how to find it. Or, so one of the other girls, that was my second diamond, I signed her within a week of Cassie, and I partnered them as accountability partners. They were complete opposites. But I said, you know what, I think you guys will work well together and you can challenge each other. So we did daily challenges. But Kelsey always says, she talks about how she hit Ruby. And then I called her the next day and I was like, hey girl, you're 12 away from diamond. She was like, what? But she's like, had I not had you do that, I don't think I would have been looking ahead. So always look at what's your next step? Look at that chart, look at where you're going. And that's what I do with my leaders is we do Zooms and, figuring out what their goals are. What do they need help with? What does their chart look like? And that's just the biggest thing is, working and figuring out, making sure that their goals match yours. And so I just said, you know what, I'm going presidential. So if you're going to come with me, we can do this together. If not, I'm going to move on to the next person that truly wants it. And they both took off and promoted. And that's what took me to presidential.
I love it. That's amazing. And I think myself, I'm going to be the first to admit this. I am horrible about babying people. And I know it shoots myself in the foot every single time I do it. So I definitely need to get better at that tough love. So moving on from there, what are some tips that you have for getting a new distributor started, like really getting them started off onto the right foot?
So I've learned a lot. there's people that are going to want this. There's people that are going to be kidnappers. But I've truly tried to be more intentional with how I set people up, and not just adding them on a team page and tagging them in 50 posts, because not everybody needs that. Like, I have really been trying to work one-on-one, and not saying like you're doing all these Zooms one-on-one, because sometimes you just don't have time for that, but truly figure out, like, how do you learn best? Do you like videos? Do you like to read through things? Do you like to do one-on-one Zooms where I'm walking you through, like, truly catering it to your learning needs? Because we all know, like, there's hearing, visual, audio, that kind of stuff, and not everybody learns the exact same way. So I've just been kind of taking it step by step, asking them what their goals are, how fast do they want to go, what do they want to accomplish in 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, where do they see themselves? Pull out the annual income chart or the monthly income chart and say, where do you see yourself? What's your goal? Because that's going to help me gauge you on how fast we're going to go, what you need to be doing every single day. And just figuring out, because some people, like, we may think, oh, they're going to be awesome and they're going to go diamond in 30 days, but maybe they just want to cover the price of their products. We have this huge vision for them, and then we're disappointed that they don't really do anything. Or there's some people that just blow your mind. You're like, oh my God, I didn't even see that coming. So ask people what their goals are. Ask them their why. Figure out how fast that they want to go, and don't just tag them in 50 posts. People get overwhelmed with notifications. Like, I get on my team page all the time, and I have like, so-and-so commented on your post, and I'm just like, yeah, that person's going to be overwhelmed because they just got tagged in 25 posts and they're not going to know where to start. So, figure out what that person needs and how they learn best. And I think it's been working really well for us.
That's perfect. And I love that you address that, because I feel like team pages are like such an advantage for us in staying connected as a team. And I say it all the time, if I was a new distributor and Alicia went through and she tagged me in 20 posts, I'd be like, peace out, I'm not doing this. Like, it's just so overwhelming. So I absolutely love that you touched base on it. So the last thing that I just want to finish this off with is any tips that you have for somebody that is pushing for these go fast bonuses, how to make them happen, regardless of how close or how far away they are from earning these?
So one, make sure you have your chart. Make sure really you know what it's going to take. Pray over your chart. I'm a firm believer that once you have that visualization, you pray over it, God is going to bring the right people into your business. If you're going for diamond, I always suggest, or even like any levels up, have your diamond and below teams all in a group chat. You can throw out different contests. So when I was going ambassador, I had each leg that I needed to promote. I had them each in a different chat. I would do a 1-minute live video, and I would even ask like the people that are going emerald, ruby, executive, have them take a day sharing post examples, even though it seems basic and kind of going back to like babying, but you want to make sure people are posting, putting it out there so that way you can help them seal the deal. Like, get people on 3-way phone calls, because sometimes people are like, I don't know what to say. Get yourself on the phone. If you are confident in what you're doing, get yourself on the phone with their potentials. And then, make sure that you're staying like in close contact with them. Like, you should be doing probably like weekly Zooms and just saying like, hey, how's everything going? Pair people up, have them be accountability partners. So if you have 2 sidelines, help them find an accountability partner. That's somebody that's going for that same promotion, because it's easier for them to talk and push each other than your upline telling you what to do. So I think it's so important to have that sideline friendship and have somebody else that can push you to that next goal. But yeah, that is what really helped me, is just, being interactive on those chats, having the other leaders step up and take a day, because then it also puts them in the spotlight, and then their team gets to know, hey, this is going to be my diamond and above leader. This is going to be my ruby leader. And you're not having that whole pressure of the promotion on yourself.
Perfect. I'm over here like taking so many different notes. You absolutely killed tonight. And I know that I said that was our last thing, but if you could just finish this off with any tip to anyone out there, what would it be?
So, you hear it probably on every single like training. But honestly, you guys, consistency is key. I do not do anything different today than I did when I first got started. Now I just repeat it more because I have more time. But if you have that fire in your belly, you have that passion, you know where you're going, don't let anything else seep in there. Like, like people would talk about, blinders on. I'm like, I don't even know what that is because I've had them on the whole time. Like I just focused on what was my goal, where was I going, who did I need to work with in order to get there. And, like the biggest thing was I wanted $500 extra a month. I hit that. Then I set the goal. I was like, this is like challenging. I love challenge. I'm competitive. And so if I can keep going, that's what I was going to do. And then it was like, wow, I can really make this work and I could be at home with my son. And so I worked hard enough to get there. And so, you just have to have those goals set, but doing the same thing every single day. So if you haven't read The Compound Effect, it is an awesome book talking about, repetitive action over time, what it's going to build up to. And that is just like, you're going to hear it all the time, but consistency truly is key. And that's like the one thing that can change your business. You may not see the benefits of it right now, but I promise you in 90 days, if you've been consistent, you're going to see the benefits of it then.
Perfect. Awesome. I absolutely loved it. I'm sure there were so many aha moments between everyone tonight and so many light bulbs going off. I just simply adore you. And I just thank you so much for getting on here with us tonight. So
oh my gosh, of course.
Thank you from everybody. And
yeah.
you have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.